It's a cold day outside. Let's make some Brunswick stew. To start, I have about 8 strips of bacon that I've cut into small pieces. I have them frying till they're nice and crispy, and I'm going to go ahead and start pulling them out. But I'm going to leave behind as much of the grease as I possibly can, because that bacon grease is going to be gold to this. Now we're going to add in 1/2 of a large onion, or you can add in a medium-sized onion. All I had was large onions, so I'm adding in 1/2 of one. It's okay if there's still a few little pieces of bacon in there. It's not going to hurt a thing. I know not everybody starts with bacon with their Brunswick stew. I do, because it adds a nice smokiness, and it's all about, Brunswick stew is all about those smoky flavors. Okay, now you want to season that onion up. Even though you have some salt from the bacon, you want to add some salt and pepper. Now we are going to saute this until it's starting to get a little translucent, but not completely, because there's something else you need to add to this. Now the onions are starting to soften up some, and we are going to add 3 cloves, large cloves, of minced garlic. I don't mince mine with a knife. I actually use a microplane and grate it. It makes it a lot finer than you can get it with a knife. So now you want to stir that in until it starts to get fragrant. Flagrant. Yeah, flagrant. Yeah, I'm more fun. It gets flagrant. Until it starts to get until it starts to get nice and fragrant, and until your onions are getting more translucent. And that, just like that, it's already nice and fragrant and smells amazing. Now we are going to add 1 can of diced tomatoes. I am using home canned. So for me it's a pint. For store-bought it will be a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes with their juice. Now I'm going to add 4 cups of chicken stock and 1.5 cups of your favorite barbecue sauce. Now I know everyone has their own way of making Brunswick stew. This is just my version. So if you have your own way of making it and it's not like this, don't come after me for it. Now, a lot of people like their Brunswick stew very fine, almost pureed up. I like mine chunky. So that may be controversial. So I am adding about 3 to 4, depending on the size of the potatoes that I have peeled and cut into little cubes, about like that, just tiny little cubes. You want everything smaller, but I still like it chunky. Now if you like it smaller, go ahead and cut everything really small. Now you want to turn your heat up to about medium high and bring this up to a boil so that your potatoes can cook. Once it's up to a boil, turn it back to a simmer and put a lid on it. Let it cook until your potatoes are mostly tender. Not fully tender, because you've got a lot more stuff to add to it and it's got to cook a lot more. I'll show you what it looks like when we're there. Now it's been about 10 to 12 minutes and the potatoes are about half done. That's where you want them. You want them half or a little past half done, because it's going to continue to cook when you add everything else. So now to this we are going to add a little bit of seasoning, because the things that you're about to add, some of them aren't seasoned. And I always add a good bit of black pepper to Brunswick stew. Now we are going to add a good little bit of, what's this here sauce?
Worcestershire.
I say it right, but a lot of people say it, people may say I say it wrong, so I say what's this here sauce. So it'll amount to about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, depending on how much you like the stuff. So now we are going to add our meat. I am adding about 2 to 3 cups of shredded, finely shredded cooked chicken. I'm going to add 2 cups of frozen corn. And it's froze to the bowl.
Froze to the bowl.
I guess I shouldn't have used a metal bowl. And now we are going to add 2 cups of cooked green beans. Now, some people like green beans in it, some people like lima beans in it. I personally like green beans in it, so that's what I'm adding. If you like lima beans, use lima beans instead.
No, we weren't on the fence. So you thought about using our butter peas.
I thought about using our white Dixie butter peas, but I decided on green beans because I've always loved green beans in it. So that's what I did. And as you can see, it's nice and thick. You want it that way. This is a stew, not a soup. Now I'm going to add back in my bacon. Now you want to stir it all up, and you want to taste it for seasoning at this point. Make sure that you're cooking in a good seasoned liquid. After tasting it, I feel like it needs a little bit more. What's this here sauce? And a little bit of salt and a good bit of pepper. Now, if the barbecue sauce you are using is not a sweeter one, Brunswick stew always has a little bit of sweetness, and you don't feel like it's sweet enough, add just a little bit of brown sugar, just a little pinch of brown sugar. But the barbecue sauce that I'm using is honey barbecue sauce, so it added a really nice flavor. And also, if you don't feel like it's smoky enough, you can add some smoked paprika. But the barbecue sauce that I used and the bacon that I used were both very smoky, so it's adding a nice smokiness to it. You want to let this cook on about medium-low until your potatoes are fully cooked and everything's nice and cooked together and all the flavors have melted together, which will take about 20 minutes or so. This deliciousness is done. It is super thick and absolutely delicious. You can serve this up with some bread, some nice crusty bread, some cornbread, or even some crackers. We tend to like it more with crackers. It's up to you. Serve it however you like. Just serve it often because it is delicious. And remember, come back next time to Angelakayskitchen, where I take you from gourmet to everyday and everything in between. God bless.
Beautiful bite of Brunswick stew right here. It's so good. Warm, comforting, delicious, full of flavor, hearty. You got plain vegetables in it. I mean, what else can you say? Delicious, absolutely amazing. Angela K really layered a lot of flavors in there, and it's awesome. Absolutely fantastic. So, it's gonna be really good for me since I got a sinus cold going on right now. But it's gonna be good no matter what. But so Angela K has really made it a great Brunswick stew, and she knocked it out of the park. She's an amazing cook, y'all.